Welcome back to the Philomath channel. A place where knowledge becomes clarity. And small daily actions quietly shape powerful lives. Today, we are diving into chapters 12 through 16 of Atomic Habits. These chapters reveal something most people misunderstand about change. Success is not about forcing yourself to be stronger. It's not about endless motivation. And it's not about discipline alone. It's about making progress easier. Designing your environment wisely. Starting small without resistance. Rewarding the right behaviors. And staying consistent even when no one is watching. As you listen, don't rush. Let these ideas settle. Because the habits you build quietly today are shaping the person you will become tomorrow. Let's begin. Chapter 12, The Law of Least Effort. Walk with ease, not force. In Chapter 12, James Clear reveals why some habits feel effortless, while others feel like a constant struggle. The answer is not motivation. The answer is effort. Let us begin. Human nature follows the path of least resistance. At the core of human behavior is a simple truth. We naturally choose the option that requires the least effort. This is not laziness. This is efficiency. Your brain is designed to conserve energy. So when faced with multiple choices, it automatically moves toward the easiest one. Understanding this removes guilt and gives you power. Why willpower fails over time? Many people try to build habits by pushing harder. They rely on discipline. They rely on self-control. But effort is expensive. When you are tired, stressed, or busy, willpower fades. James Clear teaches us that the most consistent people do not force themselves to act. They design their lives so the right action is the easiest one. Ease is the real secret to consistency. If a habit feels difficult, you will avoid it, no matter how important it is. But when a habit is easy, you repeat it without thinking. Reading becomes easier when the book is already open. Exercise becomes easier when your clothes are ready. Writing becomes easier when the document is prepared. Small reductions in effort create massive increases in consistency. Reduce friction for good habits. James Clear explains that every habit has friction. Friction is the effort required to act. To build good habits, reduce friction. Prepare in advance. Simplify the process. Remove unnecessary steps. The fewer barriers between you and the habit, the more likely you are to follow through. Increase friction for bad habits. To break bad habits, do the opposite. Increase friction. Add steps. Create distance. Make the habit inconvenient. When a habit becomes difficult, your brain naturally avoids it. No struggle. No resistance. Just design. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. This chapter reminds us that success is rarely about desire. It is about structure. If your system makes bad habits easy, you will repeat them. If your system makes good habits easy, you will grow. Change the system, and behavior follows. What we learn in this chapter. Learners, from chapter 12 we understand that human behavior follows ease, not intention. Willpower is limited, design is powerful. Reducing effort increases consistency. Increasing friction weakens bad habits. Systems matter more than goals. This chapter teaches us to stop fighting ourselves and start working with human nature. How we practice Chapter 12. Now learners, let us apply this wisdom. Choose one habit you want to build. Ask yourself, how can I make this easier? Remove one small obstacle. Prepare one step in advance. Then choose one habit you want to reduce. Ask yourself, how can I make this harder? Add one barrier. Create one delay. Small changes in effort. Create long-term change. Ease creates identity. Every time you choose the easy right action, you reinforce your identity. I am someone who follows through. I am someone who designs wisely. I am someone who grows consistently. Ease does not weaken discipline. It protects it. Chapter 13, How to Stop Procrastinating by Using the 2-Minute Rule. In the previous chapter, we learned that ease shapes behavior, and that habits grow when effort is reduced. Now, in Chapter 13, James Clear teaches us how to overcome one of the biggest enemies of progress: procrastination. Let us begin. Why we delay what matters most. Procrastination is not a lack of discipline. It is a response to overwhelm. When a task feels too big, your mind hesitates. When the journey looks long, your brain delays the first step. Most habits fail, not because they are hard, but because starting feels heavy. The power of starting small. James Clear introduces a simple rule with profound impact. If a habit takes less than 2 minutes to begin, you will start it more often. The goal is not to finish. The goal is to begin. You don't need to read the whole book. Just open it. You don't need to finish the workout. Just put on your shoes. You don't need to write the chapter. Just write one sentence. Starting removes resistance. A habit must be established before it can be improved. Many people want intensity first, but intensity fades. Consistency is what builds identity. A habit must exist before it can grow. 2 minutes is not weakness. It is strategy. It allows your brain to say yes. The 2-minute rule is about identity. This chapter is not really about time. It is about who you are becoming. Every small start is a vote. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who begins. I am someone who keeps promises to myself. Identity is built before results appear. Momentum follows action, not motivation. People wait for motivation, but motivation comes after movement. Action creates clarity. Action creates confidence. Action creates momentum. Once you start, continuing becomes easier. But even if you stop after 2 minutes, you still win. Because you showed up. Lower the bar, raise the standard. This chapter teaches us something powerful. Lower the barrier to entry, but raise the standard of consistency. Show up daily. Start small. Protect the habit. Progress compounds quietly. What we learn in this chapter. Learners, from chapter 13 we learn that procrastination is resistance to starting. Small beginnings remove fear. Consistency matters more than intensity. Identity is built through repetition. Starting is the most important skill. This chapter teaches us to master beginnings. How we practice chapter 13. Now learners, let us practice. Choose one habit you have been avoiding. Reduce it to its smallest form. Make it so easy that saying no feels unreasonable. Commit to that version every day. Do not aim to impress. Aim to appear. Small starts create big futures. Great transformations begin with humble actions. 2 minutes today is better than 0 forever. And what begins small does not stay small. Chapter 14, How to Make Good Habits Inevitable and Bad Habits Impossible. In the previous chapter, we learned that the hardest part of change is simply starting. Now, in chapter 14, James Clear shows us how to continue. Not by forcing ourselves, but by shaping the world around us. Let us begin. Your environment shapes your behavior. Most people believe habits are personal. But habits are often environmental. What you see influences what you do. What surrounds you becomes your default. The food on your table. The phone in your hand. The people around you. They are quietly guiding your behavior. Change the environment, and behavior changes naturally. Make good habits obvious. A habit cannot happen if it is invisible. To build good habits, place reminders in your path. Put the book where you can see it. Place water on your desk. Keep your tools ready. Visibility creates action. When a habit is obvious, your mind no longer needs to decide. It simply responds. Make bad habits invisible. To break a habit, remove the cue. Distance weakens desire. Hide what tempts you. Remove what distracts you. Create space between you and the habit. You don't need stronger willpower when temptation is no longer present. This is wisdom, not weakness. People shape what feels normal. Your environment is not only physical. It is social. You tend to imitate the habits of those around you. If growth is normal, you grow. If stagnation is normal, you stay comfortable. Choose spaces and people where the behavior you want is expected. Design beats discipline. Discipline works, but it is fragile. Design lasts. When good habits are easy, they happen naturally. When bad habits are difficult, they fade quietly. The goal is not resistance. The goal is alignment. What we learn in this chapter. Learners, from chapter 14 we learn that environment shapes behavior. Visibility creates consistency. Removing cues weakens habits. Social norms influence identity. Design outperforms willpower. This chapter teaches us to stop fighting temptation and start designing our lives wisely. How we practice chapter 14. Now learners, let us apply this. Choose one good habit you want to build. Ask yourself, how can I make this obvious? Place it in your path. Now choose one habit you want to reduce. Ask yourself, how can I make this invisible? Remove the cue. Small environmental changes create lasting behavioral change. Environment reinforces identity. Each time your environment supports you, your identity strengthens. I am someone who designs for success. I am someone who chooses wisely. I am someone who makes growth inevitable. You don't rise by force. You rise by design. Chapter 15, The Cardinal Rule of Behavior Change. In the previous chapter, we learned that our environment makes habits either easy or difficult. Now, in chapter 15, James Clear reveals why habits last or disappear. The answer lies in one simple principle. Reward. Let us begin. Behavior is shaped by immediate experience. Human behavior follows a clear rule. What feels good now is repeated. What feels painful now is avoided. This is not a weakness. It is biology. Your brain is always asking one question. Is this worth doing again? The answer depends on how the action feels immediately. Why good habits often fail. Good habits usually promise future rewards. Exercise improves health later. Saving money brings freedom later. Learning builds mastery later. But the effort is felt now. Your brain struggles when the reward is delayed. This is why good intentions fade, even when the goal is important. Why bad habits persist. Bad habits are the opposite. They feel good now. Comfort, pleasure, relief. The cost comes later. Your brain chooses what feels rewarding in the moment. This explains why habits persist, even when we know better. The cardinal rule of change. James Clear teaches us to build a habit, make it immediately satisfying. To break a habit, make it immediately unsatisfying. This is the hinge on which behavior turns. Make good habits satisfying. Tracking progress. Marking a streak. Celebrating small wins. These are not childish tools. They are powerful signals. They tell your brain, this matters. Do it again. Immediate satisfaction keeps habits alive long enough for long-term rewards to arrive. Make bad habits unsatisfying. To weaken bad habits, remove the reward. Add friction. Add accountability. Add discomfort. When a habit loses its pleasure, your brain slowly lets it go. No battle required. Feedback shapes identity. Every reward reinforces identity. I am someone who follows through. I am someone who keeps promises. I am someone who grows consistently. Habits survive when they confirm who you believe you are. What we learn in this chapter. Learners, from chapter 15 we learn that behavior follows immediate reward. Delayed benefits weaken habits. Immediate satisfaction strengthens consistency. Removing rewards weakens bad habits. Feedback shapes identity. This chapter teaches us to stop relying on motivation and start designing better feedback. How we practice chapter 15. Now learners, let us apply this. Choose one good habit. Ask yourself, how can I make this feel rewarding today? Choose one bad habit. Ask yourself, how can I remove the pleasure or add discomfort immediately? Small changes in reward create powerful shifts in behavior. Satisfaction sustains consistency. Consistency is not built on discipline alone. It is built on feeling. When habits feel rewarding, they stay. When they stop feeling rewarding, they fade. Design satisfaction wisely. Chapter 16, How to Stick with Good Habits Every Day. In the previous chapter, we learned that habits survive when they are immediately rewarding. Now, in chapter 16, James Clear shows us how to stay consistent. Not for one day, but every day. Let us begin. Consistency is built on visibility. Many people work hard, but feel like they are not progressing. Not because they aren't trying, but because progress is invisible. Your brain needs evidence. When effort is unseen, motivation fades. This is why tracking matters. What gets measured grows. James Clear reminds us of a powerful truth. What gets measured improves. When you track a habit, you make progress visible. A check mark on a calendar. A streak in a notebook. A simple record of action. These small signals tell your brain, I showed up. Continue. Tracking creates immediate satisfaction. Tracking is not just data. It is reward. Each mark is a win. Each streak is confirmation. This immediate satisfaction keeps habits alive long enough for long-term benefits to appear. Tracking connects effort today to success tomorrow. Never miss twice. Missing one day is human. Life interrupts. Energy fluctuates. But missing twice creates a new pattern. This chapter teaches us a gentle rule. Never miss twice. Fall once. Recover quickly. Consistency is not perfection. It is recovery. Keep tracking simple. Complex systems fail. The best tracking method is the one you will use. Paper, phone, calendar. Simplicity removes resistance. The goal is awareness, not control. Tracking builds self-awareness. Beyond motivation, tracking reveals patterns. You see when you are strong. You notice when you struggle. Awareness creates choice. And choice creates growth. What we learn in this chapter. Learners, from chapter 16 we learn that consistency needs visible progress. Tracking creates motivation. Immediate feedback sustains habits. Missing once is normal, missing twice is risky. Awareness strengthens self-control. This chapter teaches us to stay connected to our habits, day after day. How we practice chapter 16. Now learners, let us apply this. Choose one habit. Track it daily. Keep it visible. Keep it simple. If you miss once, return the next day. Protect the chain. Not with pressure, but with intention. Consistency shapes identity. Each recorded action says, I am someone who follows through. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who grows daily. Identity is not built by goals. It is built by evidence. Tracking provides that evidence. As we reach the end of these chapters, remember this. You don't need to change everything at once. You don't need perfect discipline. And you don't need to fight yourself every day. You need better systems, clearer design, and small actions that are easy to repeat. When good habits are simple, they become consistent. When consistency becomes natural, results become inevitable. Progress is built quietly, through ease, awareness, and patience. If this video helped you see your habits differently, take one small action today. Just one. Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Philomath for more ideas that turn understanding into lasting change. Remember, your habits are not just what you do. They are who you are becoming. One small choice at a time.